Thanks for coming today to this open house, which is really about an exploration of what we offer. And if you have any questions, if you're thinking of applying, if you've already applied, you're all welcome here. Or if you're just curious about the program, that's what we're here for, to answer questions. This is an old slide and with an image, but I updated it like this. No longer 40 years, but we are almost at 45 years of graduate level rural planning and development at the University of Guelph. So we've been around for a little while. We are unique in many ways. We are, and Ryan, you taught me this yesterday, but we are pretty much the only rural focused planning program in Canada. And another dimension that I didn't fully understand myself is that we're one of the only, if not the only, program that does both planning and development within one package as an accredited planning program. So we do offer a breadth of expertise and research opportunities and courses within our program. Our vision kind of aligns with that, where we try to create resilient, rural, Indigenous, remote Canadian and global communities within our program. Again, reinforcing this idea that we are unique in a way and we offer something unique. And I think the faculty contingent certainly strengthen that uniqueness of our planning program. So we have two programs, and I know the language can get a bit confusing. And if you have any questions at the end, please don't hesitate to ask. And also, I'll pop my my email in the chat later. Feel free to email me, Minerva, or Lorena. We're kind of the 3 points of contact for different stuff. But try us, and we might point you to someone else if we can't answer the question. So we have two programs. We have the MSc, the Masters of Science in Rural Planning and Development, and we have the Master of Planning program. So first, the Master of Science is a 2-year program. It can be finished in a number of ways, either by doing a thesis, a major research paper, or all course. We have two streams, the Canadian and the international, and this program is accredited by the Canadian Institute of Planners and the Ontario Professional Planners Institute, meaning that as an accredited degree, your pathway to accredited planning as a professional is much quicker. It takes 2 years of full-time work, pretty much. It's documented and there's a whole process. Conversation for another day. But it's certainly the quickest way to become a practicing planner. All right, so this is what it looks like. No matter which pathway you choose, you have 3 required courses to take. Rural research methods taught by Professor Deacon, who's here. Quantitative methods, that is taught by myself. And development theory, taught by Professor Guyadine. Then we have 2 streams, Canadian and international, that have different core courses again. The Canadian stream has the foundations course, which I believe is taught by Dr. Epp. Planning law is typically taught by a lawyer. The international stream, both I believe are taught by Dr. Sarapura, the international development planning and rural development and MIND. So those are kind of your core courses. Beyond that, it's electives, plus the pathway you may choose. For the thesis, you have to do 5 electives plus your thesis. For a major research paper route, it's 7 electives plus a major research paper. And if it's all course, it's 9 electives for a total of 14. So pretty course heavy. When you apply to this program, you will see that we actually have only 2 options. That being that the all course and the major research paper are considered a single program. The major research paper is essentially equivalent to 2 classes, and you register for it like you would a normal class in the semester that you're going to complete it. So that's the kind of stuff that please ask later on if you're applying and it's confusing. Please ask us. We know that the language and the acronyms can be a little much at first. And Minerva, if any questions come up in the chat that I should stop and answer them, I'm happy to try to answer or have other folks in the room answer them as well.
Yeah, the notifications that you're getting right now are just me putting some things into the chat, but
Oh
I'll
yeah,
let you know if I see anything.
yeah, wonderful. So this is the MSc. We also have a Master of Planning, which I think Bailey, you're starting the M Plan, right, in the winter. So that is a uniqueness of the M Plan is that we accept students year round. So for winter, spring, summer, and fall, unlike the MSc, that there's only a fall intake. The Master of Planning is a 1 year degree. It has one core course and seven electives, so eight classes in total. You can focus on Canadian planning, you can focus on international planning. It's really a sort of pick your own adventure type program. It is eligible for prior learning assessment, meaning that it is not accredited as is, but it is eligible to provide a pathway to accreditation. It just takes longer. And I believe there's a few other requirements, maybe an additional exam, but I should have looked at that beforehand. Um, yeah, so this is what it looks like. The only required course is regional planning, which is taught by Dr. Gibson, who's here with us today, and seven electives. All the electives I'm talking about can be taken within our program. We do offer enough classes for that, but students do sometimes look outside to fill these gaps that they might have, maybe in geography or real estate or wherever they may go to look for electives. There is a uniqueness to the M plan. The M plan does target early career professionals, ideally. So when we review your application, we're really looking for folks who are looking to kind of fill a need in their in their both career and educational path trajectories. Maybe you're a practicing planner who never did a planning degree and you want to kind of add that to your resume. It could help in achieving accreditation as well, et cetera, et cetera. The MSc, however, is more of a traditional master's degree where we have folks coming from all sorts of different fields at all stages of their careers. So this is the fun bit. I kind of struggled to present this properly, but for the MSc, like I said, it's a fall entry, so we're looking at fall 25 now, so next year. For international students, January 15th, 2025 is the deadline for applying. I'd say at this stage that's even a bit optimistic. If you're an international student interested in the MSc, apply earlier than that and try to get your visa application in as soon as possible. We do have some resources and people at the U of G who might be able to help you navigate this stuff. For the domestic, it's May 31st. I would say apply early. If you know you're going to apply, apply early. But we do tend to accept students past this deadline as well. It never hurts to ask. Lorena and I about maybe even if you're in the summer and I want to do this now, I want to pull the trigger on this. So never hesitate to reach out to us and see if we've extended the deadline, which doesn't always appear on our website. For the M plan, it's a little trickier here. So with the dates on the left, it's international. On the right, it's domestic. I'd say for domestic, it's fairly relaxed in terms of deadlines. We do try to abide by them, but if we get good applicants after those, it's we typically can get over that. For international students, however, it is essential to try to get your applications in early and at least by these deadlines. Once again, for fall 25 start, we're looking at January 15th. For a summer start of 25, we're already past the deadline. That would have had to have been September 15th, so a couple months ago. And for a winter 26 start, so in a year, we're looking at May 15th or for international students or September 30th for domestic. And like I said, international applicants, early. And it's getting increasingly difficult to fully understand. There's a lot of changes happening. Just get on it early and ask questions, and we'll do our best to point you in the right direction in terms of resources. Okay, yeah, so it's fun stuff. And Ryan, I updated this. We did one of these last night, and I had old data. I did find the updated 2023 compensation benefits survey. Just a fun little stat around the average salary for planners is quite high. It's around almost 115. That was in 23. I suspect that's gone up even a little more. And that is a 16% increase over the last survey they did in 2019. So salaries are going up. It's a yeah, it's a good career path, and there's quite a bit of employment. In fact, we do tend to struggle to keep students for the entirety of the program. That's how strong the job market is. So. All right, this is the current faculty contingent. We have myself, Faith, Sarah, Ryan, who's here. We have Sylvia, who's here. The only one who's missing is Professor Gayadine. And we are actively looking for a seventh faculty member. So that's pretty exciting. That means more course choices, more research opportunities, etc. So we are starting the search for a seventh faculty member who will be around for September next year. So all of you could benefit from that. So that's really positive news for us. We're out there in terms of social media. We have a pretty detailed webpage. If you go to U of G and you just look at U of G Rural Planning and Development, you'll immediately get to our page. It's got a ton of information on how to apply, the requirements in terms of grades and all these things. It's all there. Um, I believe Minerva probably shared our course offerings. That tends to change. We do have some standards every year that we offer, but I'd say even next year, if we're hiring new faculty, we can expect to have maybe a class or two extra. And we do try to change with the times and offer things that are more and more relevant to our student body and what they're interested in. That being said, we're active on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. I feel like is one of the more active social media spots for you to look at what we're up to. And we do have a YouTube channel as well. And I believe that's it.
Okay. I'm gonna pass it over to Luke. Luke is a current student of the program. He already introduced himself. I'm gonna ask that maybe if you could talk about what interested you in the program, kind of what you're doing and what your experience is in the program. And then because we only have you today, if you also maybe want to talk a little bit about the Graduate Student Society and just sort of like some of the opportunities that there are for incoming students.
Alrighty, yeah. So my background originally started at the University of Ottawa in political science, and I graduated from that, and I was looking to kind of expand some of those skills in a more practical sense, and what I thought was practical at least. So I wanted to look into planning and economic development, try to figure out how to make an impact and change, and be part of the discussion within um, communities, especially focusing things within rurality. Being from a small town myself, like my main focus was to try to create a better rural community in a national sense or international sense. And that was something that really drew me to the program here at Guelph was just the main focus on rural, like the fact that Guelph is one of the only programs in Canada that does have that specific kind of niche was something that was pretty attractive to me. And then I was looking into it from a faculty perspective as well. Like I was able to closely work alongside my advisor, and that made things really inviting for me to get my foot in the door within this program, and that gave me the confidence to do things with some extracurriculars and get within research, and that was really it really helped build me up as a student. And Guelph is a great Southern Ontario town where it's a beautiful campus and it's a chance for students to actually communicate with one another in a more common setting. The University of Ottawa being a very large campus, um, you just felt like a little fish in a small pond. And then coming to grad school here at Guelph, I felt like a lot more in my space, and that was something that really helped me thrive as a student. And then in terms of some of the extracurricular things that I've done recently is I've been able to work alongside a few of the faculty here on different research projects and even extend myself to go and work at other universities and help out with other research projects. Another great thing that happens within our program is you get a lot of chance to go to conferences. And when you get the chance to do things like that, you meet a lot of really like-minded people, a lot of people who are interested in some of the same things that you could be really passionate about. Um, I just wanted to talk about my research for a moment. I'm focusing on rural economic development in small towns in Ontario, focusing particularly on downtown renewal and business parks and the impact that investment creates within those realms. So it really gave me a chance to tailor my research to what I was specifically interested in. When I was coming into grad school, I was told by my advisor at the University of Ottawa, just try to do something that you like to do because signing up for more university and not being passionate about it is somewhat of it can be challenging. So I was able to really tailor my research towards what I was interested in, and it's turned out to be an exciting process. And in terms of the Graduate Student Society or Study Society, it's kind of a funny thing that we uh, in different documents it says different things, but it's just more or less a group of Sedgwick students at School of Environmental Design and Rural Development coming together. We form together soccer teams, socials, study groups, coffee breaks. We just completed a soccer season, which was a lot of fun, getting outside, getting active, and then we do dodgeball in the winters and stuff, which is a lot more recreation. And it's just a chance for students from different programs. We have three programs here in Cedra, the CD, MLA, and RPD. So it's a chance for students from different or different programs from under the umbrella of Cedra to come together and hang out and have fun. Um, just from an academic and social perspective, Guelph has turned out to be like what an opportunity. The field of rural in Canada is relatively small, so it's nice to know that like within a couple of years, I've been able to meet so many different people, and a lot of the work that I cite and my research, I've met the folks, and I can understand their academic outlook and on different things, and it's just turned into such an inviting process. And Guelph, the campus too, is one of the reasons why it is like that. We have our own little corner of a building. We have our own office spaces as grad students. So it just gives you a chance to really like set yourself up and thrive. The faculty, I couldn't believe how nice the faculty was. My experience at the University of Ottawa was just like you're an undergraduate student. There's 600 kids in a lecture, like, but in terms of RPD, you get 10, 15, most 25 kids in a class. So when you're walking in, you say good morning to everybody. You say good morning to your professor. Everyone knows what's up. It turned out to be a really great and inviting experience. That's like the best way I could describe it. And inclusive. That was one thing that I really liked about our program was how things were inclusive. I felt like even though I have a little bit of a different background than some of the folks, everyone's friends and the faculty is very supportive. So it's great. And there was a lot of reasons why I chose Guelph, and a lot of it had to do with how RPD was such a strong program. So I might leave it at that. And if anyone has any questions about what it's like to be a student, feel free to ask, and I'll put my contact information in the chat. So thanks, folks.
Thanks so much. Okay, so I'm going to open it up to questions. I'm just going to stop the recording.